Welcome back. It seems that every week something goes viral via social media. One senator says it is troubling that mostly negative content goes viral. He called for a stop to the sharing of the latest viral video of a man being handled forcefully by police and being punched to the ground. Senator Joachim Henry is disheartened by what he says is the misuse of social media to over-publicize and glorify violence. He spoke in light of the viral video of a seemingly intoxicated individual being subdued and accosted by city police. Henry feels very strongly about the circulation of the video.
We should not have this thing being circulated over and over on social media. The man may have been wrong. However, I think there is, he has children. Every time somebody send me this, I try to imagine his child. His daughter, how that child would be feeling. If he has a son who is already bordering having issues with the law, how does that help? I think we need to find a way to address issues of crime in our society without making it promoting an atmosphere of violence. I think the incident took place. However, it seemed more something like people are celebrating as against something that's unfortunate, that should not happen.
Senator Henry also pointed to the possible and likely impact that social media and cyberbullying had on a young man who identified as being gay and who took his life on Monday, the 25th of March.
The matter relating to the young man, I think Jarvis, who committed suicide, who is gay, again, that links to the whole atmosphere of are we a caring society, or are we one who, when we see another St. Lucian, who's different, a drunk person, a vagrant on the street, somebody who is gay, who is looking different, how do we relate to that individual? We have to become a society where loving and caring about our next brother, that's what it's supposed to be. And I think social media can really do a disservice in terms of promoting the wrong values of who we are as a people.
According to some studies, 3 billion people, around 40% of the world's population, use online social media and spend an average of 2 hours every day sharing, liking, tweeting, and updating on these platforms. Some studies have found a link between depression and social media use. Some believe that the constant distraction of social media contributes to shortened attention spans. In addition, many people who regularly use platforms like Facebook and Twitter report high levels of stress and cyberbullying. However, many argue that it is the misuse of the technology and not the technology itself that presents the problem. Get Safe Online, a non-profit organization in the UK, is launching 2 campaigns to get the Commonwealth safe online. The campaign spans 9 Commonwealth countries, with the first campaign headlined, Hello Potential Victim. It is set to roll out on the 1st of April with the aid of marketing agency ODEM. Antigua and Barbuda, Bahamas, Barbados, Dominica, Jamaica, Grenada, Guyana, St. Vincent and the Grenadines and St. Lucia are the 9 Commonwealth countries in which the campaign will be launched. Over the period April 2019 to March 2020, as part of the campaign plans, traditional and digital PR strategies will be used in each country to accomplish the main goal of safety online. The platform for sharing online safety information in St. Lucia is getsafeonline.lc. To better aid each country individually, GetSafe Online is soliciting the support of community groups, government ministries, and other non-profit organizations, as well as the media, to spread the campaign message of online safety in the respective Commonwealth countries. The campaign is targeted at all members of the public, with a focus on the most likely to be affected, that is, the elderly and children. In other news, the St. Lucia Ministry of Health and Wellness is investigating a few deaths in adult males which occurred during the month of March 2019. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Merlin Fredericks James says although a respiratory cause is suspected, vector-borne diseases and other infectious diseases cannot be ruled out as yet, as laboratory and other tests are still being processed.
The Ministry of Health can confirm that we are currently investigating deaths of a few males within the past month. In some cases, persons had underlying medical conditions, and we do know that when persons are suffering from other medical conditions, such as diabetes or cancer or other chronic diseases, that their immune system can be lowered, and as such, a secondary infection from the flu or other can tip them over the edge. However, in 2 other cases, the males had no history of any past medical illness, and hence the reason why we're putting out this alert. So we are awaiting results, and at this point in time, we can't say definitively whether the persons died of flu or of dengue or leptospirosis or other chronic disease or other infectious disease. Hence the reason why we're asking persons to be on the alert. We should be reminded that we are currently experiencing a higher than normal number of flu cases as compared to other years. When we look at the particular point in time. The flu shot is available. Persons would know that there is a vaccine which can provide some protection against flu. It may not be 100%, but it would definitely reduce the likelihood that persons would develop more serious illness if they got infected with flu. So the flu vaccine is available free of charge at all wellness centers. We also have Tamiflu, which is one of the medications specifically geared towards treating cases of flu. Tamiflu is also available at all the public health facilities. Reminding persons that cough etiquette should be practiced. Cover your cough. If you are to cough, it's best to cough in your elbow rather than in your hands. And ensure that hands are washed frequently, because flu viruses can survive on the outside. They can survive on counters and surfaces. So aside from taking the necessary precautions, because we know that the virus is airborne and it can be inhaled, to protect against flu viruses, hands should also be washed frequently. But as we said, whilst the symptoms appear to be respiratory, there are also illnesses that can mimic flu. So we are also considering these. We know that dengue, which is transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, can go on to have some persons go on to have a serious case of dengue, dengue hemorrhagic fever, where they can actually be bleeding. And even in leptospirosis, the disease which we know is transmitted by rats. With leptospirosis, sometimes persons can, it may not be often, but sometimes they can present with something almost like a flu-like illness, which may lead to deterioration. So again, we're asking persons to be on guard. We know that there are different diseases around, so persons should take the necessary precautions. Visit your health practitioner regularly and do it in a timely manner. And we're making the appeal especially to men, because we know that sometimes men feel ill and they would stay home or self-treat or wait until the situation is much worse before going to a practitioner, and then it can be a bit too late. So some of the warning signs, we're advising anyone with any sign of fever, headache, a sore throat, cough, joint pains, body pains, vomiting, diarrhea, generalized weakness. If at all the symptoms continue or the person worsens, shortness of breath, or anything of the sort, we're asking persons to visit your nearest health facility where you can be treated in a timely manner. So with regards to the current investigation, we have deployed our regional outbreak investigation team. We have been in contact with the Pan American Health Organization as well as the Caribbean Public Health Agency, and we are continuing to investigate to verify exactly what it is that we are seeing, whether it is complicated cases of flu, which we know can occur, or whether we're seeing another infectious disease, vector-borne or otherwise. We can assure the public that we will keep you updated as we get laboratory results and as the situation unfolds. But for now, we want to reassure persons that they should do all to ensure that any loved one who is feeling ill gets medical care in a timely manner.
The National School Science and Technology Fair culminated with a 3-day exhibition at the Derek Walcott Square. The activity featured the top projects from all 8 education districts on island. The Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development hosted the annual National School Science and Technology Fair over a 3-day period at the Derek Walcott Square. The fair highlighted the top projects from the 8 educational districts, with infant, primary, secondary and tertiary students displaying their projects and innovations, all creative and forward-thinking. Curriculum Officer for Natural Sciences, Gianetti George, says the science fair successfully molds young, brilliant minds each year.
The science fair provides the students with an opportunity to show their creativeness, their creative thinking, their innovativeness, their analytical skills, and to do so in a manner where they are actually solving real-life problems. For instance, one of the projects features the use of AI, artificial intelligence, and coding, where the students built a prototype robot, which would represent a tractor, which would be computerized, that can be used for desilting a river or the John Compton Dam, for removing blockage after a storm, and is unmanned.
The fair not only allows students to use critical thinking to solve everyday problems, but it also gives them an avenue to explore their imagination and to be innovative and creative.
Science and technology, STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics is the way to go. And we are finding more and more that this is the way for us to find solutions for some of society's problems. So actually the science fair is definitely a nursery for creative ideas. The curriculum has always had a place for, let us say, hands-on kind of activities, skill-based development. But the science fair provides a great opportunity for that. And for sure, we want to see it become not just, we don't want it to be seen as just an extracurricular activity. We want it to be part of the curriculum, where perhaps it can be fitted in as an assessment activity, where each student must participate in a project and then they are given a score towards maybe their term grade or, some kind of mechanism like this.
Students from across the island came up with impressive projects. These students from the Soufriere Primary School proudly showed off their project.
Students learn about the skeletal system in grade 5 and continue in grade 6. We often face difficulty with remembering the names of these bones as well as their scientific names. This game was created to help us students remember the names of these bones.
Prizes for the winners in each category will range from trophies to technological devices. This is the Hot 7 Nightly News. Sports News with Tennyson Glasgow is up next.